So last night I had to adjust the pianos because we had a huge windstorm. It is about 7:30 at night. The winds have picked up really bad. I got to get over here and drop my pianos. I've got them in the vertical position right now. Can't have that. These things are blowing out real bad. So we're gonna drop them. Okay, so we got the panos moved into the spring and fall position. And we had to do that because this wind is coming out of the west, and I took the dogs out here and these things were shaking pretty bad. Problem is that when they're in the winter position, the tops of the panos are just as tall as the fence here. And so when that wind comes up over the fence, it just grabs hold of that, and we can't have that. So we dropped it a little bit, and that'll work. Now, as you saw, despite the fact that we have this windbreak wall in the back, it's not higher than the panos are when they're in the vertical position. So we are susceptible to winds getting hold of this thing. And I should have been prepared. I should have known better. But, you know, it is what it is. I mean, one of these days, you know, it might come and bite me in the ass. But I got lucky that, you know, I saw it and was able to get it resolved. But, man, it was cold. It was cold. So I've seen a lot of videos lately of folks adding PVC pipe to the cutting edge of their side-by-sides or their ATV snowplows. And it looks like it works. The reason we would add that is to help prevent us from digging up the grass and the gravel when we're plowing. And that is a real problem. Here's a prime example of what happens. This whole section here is a section of grass that I took out when I was plowing this area here. You can see spots here. There's some chunks there. There's a big chunk right there. When we're plowing our gravel road or the yard area here, it is susceptible to getting cut up and just chewed up from the plow. The ground has not been very frozen when we've gotten those storms, and so, you know, you run that plow and it just cuts it up, tears it apart. So I'm hoping that adding the PVC pipe to the plow blade is going to help us. I've got some 2.5-inch pipe, which I think is going to work. So now we're going to take the side-by-side dory over to the shop. I'm going to get some PVC pipe, and let's see if we can't put a PVC pipe on our blade. All right, so the first step here is to get some PVC pipe. And I think I have some in here. I think that might work. I think this is 2 1/4 inch. So we'll go ahead and try that piece. I mean, it looks like it'll be a little small. I think we'll try this and see how it does. Maybe we'll have to go bigger if we need to. So the shop is starting to come together. Got a workbench in here, which is kind of nice. We got a couple of projects going on, but we'll talk about those later. For now, I'm gonna kind of make some space, get some measurements, and let's cut this PVC pipe. Okay, so what we're looking at is 5 feet. So I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and try and cut this PVC pipe. Just want to make sure there's no mice nests in it. Okay, so I got my mark, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this. Okay, so now that I've got my 5-foot length here, now I've got to cut a straight line, basically I have to split it. So I think what I'm going to do, we're going to run a piece of tape down the length of the pipe. That'll give me a guide. Now in order to cut it, I need to change the height on my skill saw so I don't split the thing into two pieces. So I think that'll do it. So now that we have it split, now we're going to try to put this onto the plow blade. And from the videos I've seen, all I should be able to do is just get it started and then hammer it in. I've got the dogs with me. They're just running around doing their thing. Let's give this a shot. Let's see what happens. Okay, so now that it's on, let's go see if it'll work. Well, I'll be damned. Look at that. That does a good job. And, I mean, it did pick up a couple of rocks, one in there, one there. But I think it more just kicked them over. I think this might be a win. It's getting dark. We've got to get some things ready for dinner. But tomorrow morning, we'll be out here. We're going to plow some of the snow that we've got. And we're really going to put this thing to the test. Tasanka, what do you think? What do you think of the plow, huh? Huh? Okay, so what do I think of the PVC pipe on the cutting edge of the plow? Well, I've got mixed feelings on it. All right, so overall, I think it worked. I mean, it definitely helps to save the grass and the gravel. One of the problems, though, that I saw is that the snow does build up here, which really isn't a problem until the end of the day. When you're done, you're really going to have to clean all this off. Otherwise, it'll freeze, and that won't be good. The other thing I noticed is that when the plow is in the angled position, the pipe actually slides off. You can see here where the pipe has slid off about an inch or so, but you have to consider that I ran it, about 500 feet. So I suppose if you were going to have this angled and you were going to run it for short distances, it wouldn't be much of a problem. But in my case, I mean, I could run, a mile, and I feel like the pipe would actually slide considerably more the more snow that gets built up. I mean, who's to say? I guess we'll just have to wait till we have the next big snow, because I am going to leave the pipe on there and give it a shot on their next big snowfall. As far as just going forward, as you saw, I mean, it does a good job, and you can see the grass and the gravel beneath it, so it does get down pretty well. So that's good. I mean, it does what it's supposed to do. It protects the ground from the cutting edge. I don't know how long it would last, but we're going to find out. Like I said, I'm going to keep it on here, and I'll keep you folks posted on what the results are, either at the end of the season or if the PVC fails. One or the other is going to happen, and when it does, I'll certainly let you folks know. Now, one other thing that occurred to me was that in some cases I do need the cutting edge, so I am going to have to pull this off. The problem I see is that snow might build up in the pipe and then freeze to the blade. So that might happen, and if it does, well, then I might just have to be stuck with this, or have to break the PVC or heat it up somehow to melt it. What are you finding over here, Matcha? What'd you find? You got all kinds of new smells, huh? But overall, I mean, it works. It didn't come off completely, so that's a good thing. My overall impression of it is it works, but may not be for big projects like what I've got going on here. But if it's a small area, my first impression would be that this would be a great solution to preventing from digging up into the gravel and grass. Like I said, as winter progresses and we continue to plow, I will certainly give you guys updates. But I think for now, that'll do it. Thanks a lot for sticking around and watching it. And if you liked it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you folks on the next video.